Today's lecture is on assembly drawings. Of course, assembly drawings, it just show you multiple parts together in their working position like this. Um, it definitely helps you to understand what parts are included and how parts fit and stack, and also, of course, which fasteners are used and how the product is built. Okay, why? Because we usually put a table, right, like this, and we call that the bills of materials. And all of the parts in assembly drawing are bubble, where there's a little bubble like that. And then of course, when you look at it, you can be able to see. Let me make it bigger for you, so that way you can see the bubbles. See that like that. Um, so each of the part is tagged with the number, the circle number right there, which is your balloon. And then of course it's completely described right here. So the balloon number 1 is going to be the movable joint, okay? So which is this part right here, that guy, okay? And of course here we have a table, BOM table is right here. You have part number, part name, and then required number. So for movable joint, we need only one. And then of course the material is going to be this, all right, CRS. Of course, so we have a material, many different types of irons, and you can be able to use what particular iron, okay, composition is. Um, anyway, so you're gonna have to have like a 1, 2, 3, 4 column to be able to describe the bills of materials for your assembly, okay? And of course, your assembled, I would say assembled parts. So let me now go ahead and reduce a slide like this, so that way we can go back to where we were before. Okay. Then, of course, why assembly drawings matter? It matters a lot, but this is how you can be able to see the assembled products, okay, correctly. And then of course we can verify the missing parts by looking at the entire assembly like this. And then of course that will definitely reduce the mistakes during the build. Build means we are assembling all the parts that include in the assembly. And your assembly mistake will definitely cause the manufacturer wrong fastener or wrong direction, missing washers, space, or spacers, and then of course you're gonna have to do your rework. So we don't want to do that. So make sure that you always include the assembly drawings when you have to do like a big, like stack of sheets drawing. Then the last one is going to show the assemble, right? Assemble parts like this. And the assembly parts, they always accompany with the bills of materials table like that. Because sometimes you can be able to see in some of the company, they usually put the part, all right, a number, find numbers. It is easier for them to be able to find it in their inventory. So you will see a little bit different bills of materials table like this. But of course, so we always have the part description, the quantity that you need for that particular part, and then that got to be totally bubble and with these little balloons. See that's call, it kind of looks like a call out, but it's just a number balloon for attaching to these parts included in the assembly. Okay, and then of course we always identify what type of material we're going to use for these parts. Okay, so right here we have a top plate, bottom plate, and then of course we have 3x16 and 1x4 pin going to be right in there in this assembly. It's a very simple assembly here. All right. And then common assembly drawing features, again, when you look at the drafting, you're gonna see we usually give the exploded view to show the how parts in the assembly fit together. And then you will see the balloons, which is these bubbles right there. And then your bills of materials table right here, okay? And I forget the bills right there. It's gotta be bills. So a very is a misconception, right? And then some people write bills, and then some people write bill, okay, just without s in there. So anyways, some people just go with BOM like that. Of course, we will have to show the center lines for all the x's, and then of course center marks usually show where the center line is. And then your fastener call outs are really, really important. So you understand these are bolts, your nuts, your washer, or of course your screws. Okay, there are many different types of screw again. So that will be identified right here in your material. And then of course the part description right there. So you don't have to worry about whether you're using a hex screw or just a flat screw. Okay, so exploded view looks like this. This is simulated in the SolidWorks. Yeah, so I show all the parts that fit together in the exploded view. So parts separated slightly to show order of your assembly. So we put this all the way. Okay, like this is just a simple made up assembly right there. Of course, the real assembly is very, very complex. So your drawing, AutoCAD drawing, will go many different sheets. Okay, together because these sheets will be linked to sheet 1 is linked to sheet 2, 3, and then you show different sub-assemblies, and the sub-assemblies are going to assemble to the final products. So your purpose is going to show the stacking sequence right there in your exploded view, and then it's going to show the hidden parts, and then it's going to make the assembly order very, very clear for you. All right, balloons. So the balloons are, they look like this. So when you look at it, you can be able to see each part is tagged with the balloons, okay, like that. And then of course they connect to the geometry with the leader lines. It should not cover the important features. So make sure you don't overlap your balloons. Make sure you separate your balloons, and then of course you make them very, very clear, okay? All right, bills of materials, a BOM, your part list usually have like a 4 column. Sometimes we put the your part number, file number. So from your warehouse or in the inventory, you can be able to locate the part that you need to assemble your product. So item number, you need a part name is going to be another 2nd column. Your quantity, how many do you need, right, for each of the part, is going to be the 3rd column. And then of course your material is your 4th column. Okay, your part description is going to be the 5th column. So make sure you put all of them all together. So this will definitely ensure your correct part count. We definitely need to count how many parts you need for each of your assembly, so that way we can track the material and the cost. Of course, the analysis of the cost is really, really important to make a product. So prevents all of the missing parts, so we can be able to clearly see how many parts are included, how many we're using for each part in the assembly. Okay, assembly drawing rules. How are we going to do it? So number 1, you're going to use your consistent orientation. Your angle, how to place your assembly is really, really important. Right now we're placing like this, a 90-degree in your top view, and then of course your front view right there. So we can see everything, and make sure you show your center lines for all of the cylindrical, okay, a structure like this, so we can see clearly the center lines right here. This side is a little bit fainted with the print. And make sure you keep your balloons very clear, and you need to show clearly, the fasteners are very important to mate the different and different related parts in your assembly. Make sure you use a different angle section lines for related parts, okay? Exploded views again should look very logical, so make sure to explode it. SolidWorks is really good for exploded view, so you can load your model in there, and then of course explode it and go under right to the left side of your SolidWorks, and you can be able to see the exploded view that you can simulate very easily. Okay, and it will of course explode and show, and you can take a picture too to extract your assembly, exploded view picture like this. This is built in SolidWorks. That's just a scene of a table in the back, okay? You can go without the scene, it doesn't really matter. Okay, those are what you need to follow for the assembly drawing views, okay? So exploded view got to be logical, so we can identify which one fit into where. Common mistake, do not do these things. Your balloons covering geometry, missing quantities. Quantities are really important to do cost analysis. And clear fastener length. We need to know the length of the fastener, or somebody will be ordering, the purchase department will order wrong thing. No center line for align holes. Alignment is very important, so therefore do not forget your center line for axis. Section lines confuse, okay? Do not confuse your section line because you have many related parts in your assembly. So therefore you're going to have to show, if you have a section view, you're going to have to show with a different section line. You have 45, 30, 60. So we have the first part, second part, see different pattern. The third, the next pattern, and then of course the last one is going to have a different angle. So you go 45 degree, 30 degree, 60 degree, and then any angle that you can be able to do it. Okay. All right. Lab 12, heads up. What are we going to do in Lab 12 on Thursday? We are going to learn how to print. Okay, how to plot professionally. So organize and output a design with layouts. Your core skill is going to be model space. You've got to know how to deal with your model space and plotting. And then your paper space, of course, your viewports, your layout tabs, your scale control, your plot print setup are very important in our Lab 12. So model space and paper space. Again, you usually draw the model space 1:1. Your paper space is going to control the sheet layout. So you adjust your sheet layout with the printer that you usually use. Most of the printers are set at the letter size. So just go with 8.511. Okay, so controls the plotting scale. Do you want to go 1:1 or you want to double up or you want to shrink it down? Okay, sizes down. So make sure you add the title block is very important. If you go by the template, the title block is already there. If you don't use a template, then of course you will have to adjust your viewport to put your drawing right above that title block. Okay, creating a layout. So steps are, first you click and then create a new layout. You usually rename it so it will not be displayed as layout 1, layout 2, layout 3 like this. So we usually rename the layout, and then of course we usually open the page setup manager, and then we set up the page like PDF plotter for the printer, ANSI A8.511 that we choose, 1:1 scale, and that of course so we usually go with the landscape. Title block, you are going to activate the title block layer inside the letter, okay, and then of course you are going to insert 0 by 0 and then set that drawing scale in the attributes. So in the Lab 12 you know how to do it, and I'll show you how to do that in my demo. And then we will delete the default view, set the viewport layer. We will delete the default viewport, and then you're going to set the viewport layer, and then you're going to create the rectangular viewport, a new one, and then you're going to set the viewport scale to 1:8, which is pretty good, and then you will lock the viewport. Then of course we can change the color, like some of the colors are really bad for our printer. Many of the printers are at a monochrome, which is black and white. So monochrome, set that up. It definitely ensures the black print, and it looks very professional and give you the professional output, and then it will definitely prevent your color confusion. Okay, all right, example, simple assembly. So simple assembly, I give you in your textbook, you're gonna have to assemble the plate, the bracket, and the bolt in any way you want in your AutoCAD. Okay, so make sure you assemble and then show me that the three parts are assembled in the way you want it. If you want to do the hand sketch, you can do that. You will stack the plate and the bracket, and then of course you're going to show the bolt through the align hole, so you will be able to fastening the two mechanical parts with this bolt, and then add the center line because your bolt go into a cylinder, okay, to fasten the plate and the bracket. And then of course you're going to add the balloons to show which parts is what. Okay, so you have a three major part right in there: your bolt, your plate, and then your bracket. And then you're going to add the mini, okay, bills of material table with at least 4 columns got to be in there. You can make up the material, okay, I don't really care about that. So you can go with either brass or copper or alloy, you know, whichever way is fine for you. Steel is pretty expensive for plate and brackets, so probably might want to do with the alloy between iron and something, okay? All right, then draw the plate and the bracket in the position. So that's what you're going to do in the AutoCAD assembly. You're going to add the bolt at the center line, add the balloons, and then you're going to create your BOM table, and then you will place it on your layout. Okay, so anyway, so that's a heads up for your Lab 12. So what you're gonna do is it is really really important to have a professional plotting, okay, professional printing, because that is your sales point and that is the report that you will be putting in for your promotion, okay, for your bonus. So if you print out pretty bad, nobody want to read it, nobody want to use it, nobody will call that the professional printing. So therefore, make sure you master this or lab 12 because it is your basic, your foundation. Okay, many things are done on basic foundation concepts. All right, complicated things are yes born from the basic yes concept that we use all together. Anyway, so being able to read the assemblies, you must be able to read the assembly, create the assembly, organize the layout, print it professionally. Okay, and these are a very good skill. So in your resume, you have to write the skill, right? And people give their resume a lot of money to the resume writer or editor. They don't know what you can do. So if for the skill section, you're gonna have to write those kind of things. Okay, I know how to print professionally. This is really important because not everybody can be able to print something professionally, especially for the drafting. So you gotta really really make it look standing out. Okay, so your print gotta be not messy. Your print shouldn't be complicated. Your print should be neat, tidy, clear, right, and clean. So that's our goal, and your career skill is gonna go up with it. So make sure you do your lab 12, right? Okay, so this section, I mean chapter is a very small one. Yeah. That's it for today. So I see you on Thursday.